Good evening and welcome to Lovington Lady Cat Softball from the Walmart Digital and One Radio Square Sports on the Lovington Sports YouTube channel and HobbsAmerica.com. Tonight's game is brought to you by Bob's Thriftway, Western States Insurance, Eunice Pump and Supply, Devon Energy, Lovington Auto Supply, the First American Bank of Lovington, the Lee County Electric Cooperative, Stone Oilfield Services, and Western States Insurance. Live from Lady Cat Field, here's Dawn Morgan.
Hey, thank you very much as we are getting ready for Lovington versus Roswell. This is a 4A versus 5A tilt, and I have to say, hats off to Coach McCraw, who is not with us, able to be with us tonight, but we do have assistant coaches Skinner and DePorto, of course, in the dugout for the Lovington girls. But I got to hand it to whoever put the schedule together. They really are facing a pretty stiff preseason schedule and competition here, as they're playing either in tournaments or outrights, several, either strong 4As or 5As, combination of both. And I think that's a really good test for them to sharpen them up as much as they can before district begins, which will be here before you know it. I mean, we only have, 2 weeks of more time in games before they do hit the district. So it's important. Lady Cats are coming off of a nice finish at the Black Gold tournament at Hobbs. They won 2 out of their 3 games. They took 3rd place in that tournament, and it was incredible. They lost to the Lady Eagles, but they played them very tough, and it was a good finish there. They beat Silver, and they beat Piedra Vista, so that is awesome. Of course, Hobbs won that tournament. Artesia was 2nd, and then Lovington finished 3rd, and that's a very strong finish out of an 8-team field. That's wonderful. So coming off of that, then they played a game at Clovis, and they won that game. So they've got a good season going on, TJ, and they're coming into this one with some confidence and with a good record.
Well, they certainly do. 5-1 the record. You mentioned the trip to Clovis last weekend, and they absolutely destroyed the Purple Wildcats 17-0 in that ball game. So they've definitely gotten the sticks working in that, and a good test again here tonight against a 5A squad and these Roswell Lady Coyotes, who come into the game at 3-4 on the year. They split their last 2 games. They were actually up at a tournament, and their last game they won over Deming 9-7. They lost to Cobre 9-8, and then they actually got blown out a couple of times in that tournament by Silver City. I think it was 13-2 and 14-0. So, Roswell coming in looking for a little redemption and little spring break softball here in Lovington tonight.
Right. Lovington defeated Piedra Vista 6-5 in that last game at the Black Gold tournament in Hobbs. They fell to Hobbs 6-3, and that was a really good game against Hobbs, and they had chances to actually win that game. And then the Lady Cats defeated the Silver team 11-10, and they did some good come from behind runs, in those games, and really proved that they can hang in there tough and they can come from behind. So it's good. It's always terrific to play from ahead and not get behind. But knowing, looking back on games and knowing that you are down 1, 2, 4, 5 runs even, and that you're able to mount a comeback and get even or even get ahead, that's what really gives you that confidence and that poise to hang tough against teams, especially when you're coming up against 5A team like they are. So we're going to get this underway in just a few minutes. I want to run down the rosters, and then we'll talk about your starting batteries and visit a little bit more about this. But we'll take a break and hear from some of our great sponsors, and we'll be back with more Lady Wildcat Softball on Lovington Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com.
Attention shoppers, Bob's Thriftway welcomes you to Lovington, New Mexico. This week you'll save big on grocery items throughout their store. Save big on produce, household items, bread products, and meats. Every week, Bob's Thriftway has big savings for their customers. Bob's Thriftway is your local hometown grocery store. So for the freshest produce, the best meats, shop Bob's Thriftway, 906 West Avenue D in Lovington.
Western States Insurance.
Why choose Western States Insurance as your independent insurance agent? Because Western States Insurance is more than an insurance agency. They're a people agency dedicated to the insurance needs of their customers. Western States Insurance is large enough to provide the products you demand, and small enough to offer you personal service.
We've got you covered. Western States Insurance.
Call 396-1318 or go by 212 North Love in Lovington.
And welcome back to Lovington Lady Cat Softball from New Walmart Digital and One Radio Square Sports. It's your Stonewall Field Services pregame report. Here's Don Morgan.
Thank you very much, TJ Miracle. Yes, let's run down to the rosters. We'll start with our visiting Roswell team, and their batting lineup is starting in that first position. It's number 15, Elena Tarin, playing first base. Batting second will be number 12, Yadira Aragon, playing third. Batting third is number 4, Lauren Lucero, playing left field. Batting fourth is number 11, Sarai Morales, playing shortstop. Batting fifth is number 5, Bella Ornelas, playing right field. Batting sixth is number 3, Emily Marquez, who is catching. Batting seventh is number 8, Daniela Hernandez, who is center field. And batting eighth is number 2, Alexia Estrada, who is playing second base. And batting ninth is number 10, Alani Tarin, who is pitching. Your reserve players are number 1, Alexia Carrasco, number 6, Debani Hernandez, number 9, Myra Bustamante, and number 13, Jaslyn Horton. Turning a page over to your home, Lady Wildcats. Batting first is number 2, Anahi Quiroga, who is catching. Batting second is number 4, Honey Morales, who is on second base. Batting third is number 6, Zimri Ellis in center field. Batting fourth is number 15, Sabri Sanchez, the designated player. Batting fifth is number 13, Angelina Corral on third base. Batting sixth is number 5, Leila Hernandez, who is at shortstop. Batting seventh is number 9, Jocelyn Olguin, who is at first. Batting eighth is number 21, Bailey Garcia in left field. Batting ninth is 11, Daphne Urahara, your starting pitcher. And your flex player is number 12, Braylon Hernandez, who's playing right field. Your reserve players for Lovington are number 16, Yaya Garcia, 19, Andre Hernandez, 23, or Andrea. Number 23 is Johanna Ochoa, and number 77 is Jabri Rios. So your battery for your Lady Cats, who are going to be in the field first, of course, as the home team, will be Urahara on the mound, or in the circle rather, and Quiroga behind the plate. Your battery for the Roswell Lady Coyotes will be Tarin in the circle and Marquez behind the plate. Your head coach for Roswell is Coach Marujo, and your head coach for Lovington is Stephen McCraw. So those are the girls who are going to be out on the field momentarily, and we're again just looking at a good game tonight. Roswell has traveled pretty well, bringing over more fans than I thought we would see. Of course, this is spring break week, and Lovington has a strong contingent in the fans. And it's weather time. Weather tonight should be pretty good. We're seeing a breeze probably about 10-15 miles an hour blowing from right to left. As the sun's setting, the light fields are on, and there's a little chill in the air, and it's probably going to get pretty cool. People outside are already kind of bundled up with that cool air, but it should be perfect weather and perfect for playing softball this evening, TJ.
Well, it certainly should be. We're going to be looking, if I can get the weather app to agree and work with me here. Come on. You're going to love the internet. We're going to be looking at about 60 degrees when we get to first pitch on this one, but with that wind blowing out of the southeast, it feels a little cooler. By the time this one's done, we're going to be down probably in the mid-50s or so. So it really shouldn't be too unpleasant. The wind really not going to be a factor tonight, and Lovington looking to come in and back up their number 3 ranking. Noticed they're number 3 in both the Max Preps Matrix and in the coaches poll. Artesia, depending on which one you look at, is 1 or 2. St. Pius is either 1 or 2 in those matrices, but Lovington is right there with them and looking to back that up. Roswell was not in the top 10 in any of those rankings. At 3 and 4, they've kind of had an up and down season in the early going so far.
And we're adding a reserve player, and I'll let you know it's number 1, Paisha Gonzalez. That's Paisha Gonzalez, and she is a JV player, so she'll be among the reserves who will be called on and could come in as a pinch runner, a pinch hitter, or maybe even a position player. So thank you very much. We appreciate that. And as you were saying.
Yeah, again, as we continue going on, they're the Roswell Lady Coyotes, kind of an up and down season. Lovington has had mostly ups this season and are looking to back up that number 3 ranking. I think the key, just looking back at the Black Gold tournament and the games that you called there, and just looking at some of the scores and things that have come up. Lovington's definitely got plenty of power, and they know that they can come from behind, as you mentioned earlier. They need to find consistent pitching. Daphne Udahata is their number 1, and I think she's been fairly consistent. Sometimes I think maybe, gets maybe just a touch rattled, although, she's been doing this for a long time and, working still maybe on developing some of her pitches. But if she is on and you don't have, the other team getting hard contact, the Lady Cats, especially if they get the sticks going and the defense works like it should, they could make it a very long night tonight for Roswell.
They certainly could. Now, I do notice that looking back at my book, in that final game, in that win against Piedra Vista, they had 3 runs on 3 hits. They left 10 on base. Ouch. But they committed no errors in the field. They had very solid fielding, and they were getting on base. They were just having a little trouble with timely hitting, getting them around. So that was just a little bit of trouble there. However, they did really well in the field. They turned a double play against Piedra Vista, which was good. They were really solid against Hobbs. Lovington actually got more. They had more hits in that game than Hobbs did in the game that they played against them. Now they ended up losing that 6-3. And then in their first game against Silver, they were able to also do really well in that game. Getting hits, as you said, but timely hitting, moving runners around at the right time and in. And I noticed that they've made some adjustment in the batting lineup. Not a huge one, but a couple of adjustments in their lineup. So we'll see if, how they do tonight with a few adjustments and maybe working things around, experimenting right now while district is a couple of weeks away, to try to see if they can cut down on the left on base score, stat at the end of the game there, and move more runners in and around. So they've got solid fielding. They're pitching, as long as it stays consistent. They have Sabri Sanchez in to be able to come in relief, and also they have another relief pitcher who has come in before Sabri Sanchez, and then there was another.
There was another one, and
yeah,
I didn't write it down.
Remember exactly. I didn't either. So, but they again, that's one area. As long as they're solid, they can hang with most teams. But they've got to really have that good, solid pitching to go up against the teams, especially 5A teams like this. So it should be a good matchup here today. And we're going to go ahead and probably take another break and go ahead and hear from some of our sponsors as they do the announcements of the girls on the field, and then we'll have our national anthem, and then we'll come back and get this one ready and underway here. So keep listening for Lady Wildcat Softball on LovingtonSportsYouTube.com and HobbsAmerica.com.
Eunice Pump and Supply has been around for over 30 years and is excited to continue their services to the community. They take pride in their employees and their hard work and dedication, and most importantly, take pride in the youth of Lee County. Eunice Pump and Supply is a proud supporter of all Lee County athletics and academics. Eunice Pump and Supply, 1310 Avenue O in Eunice, another proud supporter of Lee County athletics.
Devon Energy is proud to support the athletic programs of Lovington High School this season. By partnering with local schools in Lovington, Devon is making an investment in the long-term future of the community. Sports teach discipline, teamwork, and leadership. Skills our youth will use to succeed for a lifetime. From the Devon team to yours, Devon Energy wishes you good luck this season, both on the field and in the classroom. Go Wildcats!
When it comes to your hard-earned money, selecting the right bank is vital. Hi, I'm David Campbell, president of First American Bank in Lovington. First American Bank in Lovington is part of this community. So bank with trusted partners you know, and trusted partners that are part of this area we call home. First American Bank offers all the advantages big corporate banks do, and we do our banking with hometown support and commitment. Choose First American Bank, 19 West Washington in Lovington. We want to earn your trust, then earn your business.
It's no secret, at some point you'll have a question or need to replace or fix something on your vehicle. Whether your vehicle is new or ancient, Lovington Auto Supply is your trusted advisor when you need dependable auto parts. Not only do they have the parts you need, they have real answers to your real automotive questions, and that help keeps your vehicle running longer and stronger. Quality parts, helpful people. Lovington Auto Supply, 217 West Avenue D in Lovington. Napa, get up and go.
Introducing a smarter, easier way to manage your Lee County Electric account. It is called Smart Hub. Now you can pay your bill anywhere, anytime with 24-hour access to your account. It is free and simple to use. Just search for the Smart Hub app on your cell phone or device and download the free app, or go to our website at lcacnet.com and look for the Smart Hub logo to view your account or pay your bill online. Managing your Lee County Electric account conveniently and securely with Smart Hub. Lee County Electric, owned by those we serve.
Stone Oilfield Services says many traffic fatalities may be caused by an intoxicated driver. So do yourself and your community a favor and remember the 3 C's of safety: caution, courtesy, and above all, common sense. Safe and sober driving is everyone's responsibility. That message was from Stone Oilfield Services in Lovington, a name you can trust and depend on. For quality and integrity, call 575-396-1840. From the Stone family and staff at Stone Oilfield Services.
Lovington Schools proudly supports their athletic teams and wants to encourage all teachers, students, and staff to keep pressing on. Wildcats, you are winners on and off of the court. Lovington Municipal Schools are proud of holding the utmost and highest standards. Go out there and be proud to be part of the Big Blue. For more information on what is happening now at Lovington Schools, log on to lovingtonschools.net and bet you won't be disappointed. Go Big Blue. 3 claps and a woo!
Attention shoppers. Bob's Thriftway welcomes you to Lovington, New Mexico. This week you'll save big on grocery items throughout their store. Save big on produce, household items, bread products, and meats. Every week, Bob's Thriftway has big savings for their customers. Bob's Thriftway is your local hometown grocery store. So for the freshest produce, the best meats, shop Bob's Thriftway, 906 West Avenue D in Lovington.
Western States Insurance.
Why choose Western States Insurance as your independent insurance agent? Because Western States Insurance is more than an insurance agency. They're a people agency dedicated to the insurance needs of their customers. Western States Insurance is large enough to provide the products you demand and small enough to offer you personal service.
We've got you covered. Western States Insurance.
Call 396-1318 or go by 212 North Love in Lovington.
And welcome back to Lovington Lady Cat Softball from Noel Mark Digital and One Radio Square Sports. Getting ready for the start of this non-district matchup between your Lady Cats and the visiting Lady Coyotes of Roswell High. And as the teams prepare for inning number 1 with the call, Dawn Morgan.
Thank you very much, TJ Miracle, and getting ready for this one as we're, just looking. I know that Lovington is, I'm sure they're proud to be ranked as high as number 3 in State 4A, but that also puts some pressure on your shoulders, thinking that they come in with a lot of expectations, and other teams are looking at them and have those same expectations. So Lovington has a lot to live up to here in this game, and they want to protect that and keep that, because the higher that they can continue to be seen and considered in the state, the better it is for them as they head into district in a couple of weeks, and then, of course, look at making playoffs and hopefully getting into the state tournament. So that's all kind of down the road, and that's in their minds, and that's their eventual goal. But their first goal is to try to win this game against 5A Roswell here tonight.
Well, and that does need to be the goal. Just take them one game at a time. I think most people have this district penciled in as either Artesia or Lovington, and that's been quite a battle the last couple of years. The Lady Bulldogs coming out on top, except at the state tournament. Lovington a couple of years ago making the finals of that one, but you can't worry about that just yet. You got to worry about the team they put in front of you and do what you can.
And we are starting this game just about ready for first pitch. And up first is number 15, Elena Tarin for Roswell. First pitch is in. It's going to be low for ball one. So 1-0 count on Tarin, who is your first baseman for Roswell. She's a left-handed batter. And on deck is Aragon, and in the hole is Lucero. Second pitch, a swing and a hit, a grounder over to first base. Olguin handily gets that, steps on first, and 1 out. So 2 pitches, 1 out. Pretty efficient for Lovington.
Yeah, you got to like the way that came out, and a nice job there by Urahara. Just put it up there, and Tarin getting on top of it and slapping it over towards Olguin, 1 down.
Yep, 3 unassisted in the books, and that brings up batter number 2, Aragon, the third baseman. First pitch is in, and that was over the plate, but a little low. So ball 1, 1-0 on Aragon. Lucero now on deck. Morales in the hole. That stays high and outside for ball 2. Urahara in the circle. Quiroga behind the plate. Olguin at first. Morales at second. Corral at third. Hernandez at short. Then from left to right, it's Garcia, Ellis, and Hernandez. So that's Leila Hernandez out at shortstop. And Braylon Hernandez in right. There's a long fly ball hit. It hits the fence and bounces off in directly left center. A slide at second and got her. So what was going to be a stand-up double ends up being out number 2 as great fielding as out and left. Garcia played the bounce of the ball off of the fence perfectly, turned around and fired to second, and time to get Tarin, or to get Aragon out at second.
So that's going to go in the books as a single and then thrown out 7-4 for out number 2.
So a single, and then on the ill-advised run over to second, she got put out 7-4 in the books. And number 4, Lauren Lucero, left fielder, up at bat for Roswell High. Second pitch is in, a call, strike on the inside corner. Beautiful pitch by Urahara, keeping that just right about the letters, just beneath the letters and on the inside corner. And that is going to be a strike. So I think wasn't that the second pitch, though?
Yeah, it's a 1-1 count.
Yep, 1-1.
Now 2-1.
All right.
1-2, pardon me.
1-2. As Urahara out in front of this batter with Morales on deck and Nellis in the hole. If it gets that far, Lovington would like to just get him 1-2-3 if they can. That's going to miss inside and low for ball 2. Now it's evened up 2-2. As Urahara with some good-looking speed tonight. I think she's starting this game throwing a little harder than I normally see her throw at the beginning of a game. They had a long warm-up, I noticed. There was a JV game before this one. Swing and a foul tip keeps it 2-2. That the JV game right before this ended up in a tie because there evidently is an hour and a half time limit on a JV game if it's preceding, if it's before a varsity game or another game behind it. And it was tied 5-all at the end of that, and they simply ended the game. Oh, and that just misses outside, just misses the outside corner, 3-2. So a full count now on Lucero with 2 outs, nobody on here in the top of the first inning.
This is generally the situation where you're going to think Urahara is going to come back. She's got a good fastball. She's also got a little riser, maybe one or the other.
Hit off at the end of the bat, foul tip to stay alive. So count remains at 3-2 as that was tipped off out over in the warm-up circle off to the right.
Urahara really has the full retinue, is that how you say that, of pitches. She can throw a fastball. She's got a riser. She also has an off-speed pitch and a pretty good breaking ball.
Yeah, inside and outside on that breaking ball. Oh, very nice pitch. A fastball just right over the outside corner. But Lucero hanging tough at the bat, catches a piece of it, fouls it off out of play to the right to stay alive. So Lucero having to protect the plate and try to go after pitch she thinks she can hit. She's batting third in the lineup. You know she's one of the more capable batters for Roswell if she's in that position. And that is going to miss low and inside for ball 4. So Lucero worked the walk and is now on first. That brings up number 11, Sarai Morales, who is your shortstop for Roswell. So 2 outs, 1 on. Morales up at the plate, Ornelas on deck, and Marcus in the hole. If we get that far, again, Lovington would like to go ahead and get another out without giving up any runs, and that's going to be a call strike right over the plate and right at the knees for an 0-1 count on Morales.
You do need to be aware of Lucero over at first. Under Coach Marujo, Roswell has traditionally been pretty aggressive on the base paths.
And another good pitch. This is going to miss just a little bit low for ball one. So even up the count, 1-1. As the varsity team had a lot of time to be able to warm up, and I noticed all the players doing a variety of different warm ups while that JV game was going on. Oh, did she offer? Yes, she broke the plane. Morales with a half swing on that went enough to be called a strike, and I think that ball might have been a called strike anyway. 1-2 the count. Beautiful pitch as Urahara brought it, a little breaking ball over the outside, and it rose just a little bit, and Morales chased it. Her bat was a little bit short, so a strikeout. That's the first strikeout for Urahara, third out, and no runs, no hits, one hit rather, no hits, one hit. No errors, and one left on base. So we're going to go to the bottom of the first inning. Scoreless. Lovington coming up to the plate. We'll be back with more Lady Wildcats softball on Lovington Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com.
Eunice Pump and Supply has been around for over 30 years and is excited to continue their services to the community. They take pride in their employees and their hard work and dedication, and most importantly, take pride in the youth of Lee County. Eunice Pump and Supply is a proud supporter of all Lee County athletics and academics. Eunice Pump and Supply, 1310 Avenue O in Eunice, another proud supporter of Lee County athletics.
High School this season. By partnering with local schools in Lovington, Devon is making an investment in the long-term future of the community. Sports teach discipline, teamwork, and leadership. Skills our youth will use to succeed for a lifetime. From the Devon team to yours, Devon Energy wishes you good luck this season, both on the field and in the classroom. Go Wildcats!
In the top of the first inning, there were no runs on one hit, no errors, and one runner left on for Roswell High. We go to the bottom of the first, no score in this one, and with the call, Dawn Morgan.
Thank you very much, DJ Miracle. Lovington coming up to the plate, and it will be your leadoff batter, number 2, Anahi Quiroga, your catcher. On deck is number 4, Honey Morales, your second baseman, and in the hole is number 6, is Zimmery Ellis, who is your center fielder.
And Lovington wants to hop out and, if they can, do damage early against Tureen. They don't want to have one of these come from behind kind of things. They want to get the sticks clicking early and see if they can go ahead and put some crooked numbers up on the board and do what they can to get out of this one early.
And in the circle for Roswell High, Tarin Marquez behind the plate. That's your battery. That's a pitch that comes in over the inside corner but stays high for ball 1 on Quiroga. And at first base is Tarin. There are 2 Tarins on this team. And Estrada is at second, Morales at short, Aragon at third. And then from left to right, Lucero, Hernandez, and Ornelas. There's a swing and a foul tip back to the screen for strike 1, 1-1 on Quiroga. The catcher, leadoff batter, and capable of definitely working a walk or getting it and getting on base. I was looking back at some of the games in that tournament. That pitch comes in. It's going to stay low and inside for ball number 2.
Outfield playing very deep. Lovington does have quite a bit of power. And straight away.
2-1 the count. That's going to miss outside and high for ball 3. So 3-1. Quiroga probably wants to work the walk if she can. She does her own running, and that's a little unusual for a catcher. Catchers often will just opt for the courtesy runner. That stays high for ball 4. So Quiroga does work the walk, and Lovington is quite aggressive on the base paths as they try to move runners around. And with some of their experiences in leaving too many batters on base earlier this season, in that tournament, I noticed that Coach McCraw was really just trying to move runners around one base at a time and try to get them in scoring position and closer to being able to cross the plate and score. Morales up at the plate. No outs, one on. A little pop is going to be caught as she showed bunt, dropped the bat, and coming in on it very quickly was Tadine at first, and a nice job. She did a nice hustle and caught that pop as Morales just popped it. Instead of deadening the ball and putting it on the ground, she popped it up.
And Coach Marujo coming out, she's arguing interference on Morales coming down the first baseline, blocked it out to keep that from becoming a double play. Looks like the ump has said, no, I don't think it was enough. So.
No, I think Quiroga also scrambled back to the bag in time that it really wasn't an issue. I don't think a throw would have gotten her. So still one out as Honey with a pop-up to position 3 makes it one out. And Zimri Ellis, center fielder, up to the plate. She bats in the third place in the order. Sanchez on deck, Corral in the hole. One out, one on. That's going to be high and outside for ball number 1. You know, until Tadine really settles in and settles down, if I were Lovington, I would just make her pitch to you. She has thrown fewer. There she goes with a pretty good fastball. Not a lot of speed on it, but it went right across the plate. Ellis swung just under the ball, caught the underside of it, and fouled it pretty much straight back for strike 1. 1-1 the count. And a line drive shot out in right field. A diving catch by Ornelas out there robs Ellis of what really would have been, and I thought was going to be a base hit. But they were the right fielder out there, Ornelas, was able to run up and catch that and hang on to it. So a good catch, but, you know, solid wood. I'm glad to see that Lovington, you know, is starting off there with Ellis with some good contact on the ball. So 2 outs. Sanchez, the designated player, up to the plate, trying to get a 2-out rally started. Ground ball goes over to Estrada. She picks it up, fires over to Tarin at first, and that's the 3rd out. So was trying to finish the sentence, get a 2-out rally going, and it just didn't happen as Sanchez hit the first pitch she saw and grounded out 4-3 in the books for the 3rd out. So Lovington goes 4 up, 3 down with no runs on no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. We'll go to the top of the 2nd, still scoreless, and we'll be back with more Lady Wildcat softball on Lovington Sports YouTube at HubsAmerica.com.
When it comes to your hard-earned money, selecting the right bank is vital. Hi, I'm David Campbell, president of First American Bank in Lovington. First American Bank in Lovington is part of this community. So bank with trusted partners you know, and trusted partners that are part of this area we call home. First American Bank offers all the advantages big corporate banks do, and we do our banking with hometown support and commitment. Choose First American Bank, 19 West Washington in Lovington. We want to earn your trust, then earn your business.
It's no secret, at some point you'll have a question or need to replace or fix something on your vehicle. Whether your vehicle is new or ancient, Lovington Auto Supply is your trusted advisor when you need dependable auto parts. Not only do they have the parts you need, they have real answers to your real automotive questions, and that help keeps your vehicle running longer and stronger. Quality parts, helpful people. Lovington Auto Supply, 217 West Avenue D in Lovington. Napa, get up and go.
For the Lady Cats, they get the leadoff hitter aboard, but can't move her around. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. No score after 1. We head to the top of the 2nd. Here's Dawn Morgan.
Thank you, TJ Miracle, and it's the heart of the order for Roswell High as number 5, 6, and 7 do up, starting with number 5, Bella Ornelas, the right fielder, followed by Marcus and Hernandez. So Lovington was able to be pretty efficient in the in the beginning of this game, top of the first, 4 up and 3 down. They'd like to do that here again. And first pitch comes in.
Ball 1.
Ball 1. 1-0 is the count on Ornelas. Top of the 2nd inning. No score yet in this one. Swing and a miss as Urahara really brought the heat and ran a fastball up and in that broke late across the inside of the plate. Ornelas took a good cut at it, but she was way behind it. 1-1 the count. So Urahara really finding her rhythm seems to be. Oh, she missed a little inside on that one, low and inside.
Yeah, she's working the inside corner exclusively so far against Ornelas through the first 3 pitches.
And, of course, even though this is the first time Lovington has played Roswell this season, They, of course, have seen a lot of these players in years past and have a little intel about what the batters like and have hit before. And that is going to hit the outside corner, 2-2.
And I do notice Hernandez is shading over towards the line in right. There is a huge gap out in right center.
Yeah, and a big gap from center to left as well. Ooh, and that just missed the outside corner. Lovington faithful wanting a call strike on that. Didn't get it. The ump said, nope, it was too far outside away, and that runs the count full on Ornelas.
So now you might look at coming back inside. You've got her looking out. Come in.
She did come in, but it was too far in, and that puts Ornelas on first base with a walk. First walk that Urahara has issued. He's got a strikeout now.
Second walk.
Or second walk. Oh, that's
Lucero
right.
in the
Yeah,
first,
she walked Lauren Lucero in the first, but Lord Lucero got stranded out there. So.
And you'd like the same result here.
Or issue the second strikeout. If you could get her with a strikeout, keep her from even hitting, that would be great. There's a little chopper headed to corral at third. She picks it up, fires over to first to Olguin for out number one. It does move Ornelas over to second in scoring position, though. So Marquez with a little chopper. 5-3 in the books for out number one. That brings up number 8, Daniela Hernandez, to the plate.
It does move the batter, though, and that's really what Roswell wanted. Now they've got their first runner in scoring position.
Hernandez, center fielder for Roswell, followed by Estrada on deck and Tarin in the hole. One out, one on, shows a bunt, beautiful bunt. Coming up for it, Urahara fires over to first for out number 2, but it does get Ornelas over to third. So a sac bunt for out 2 brings Estrada to the plate, and Roswell just trying to Frankenstein a run any way they can, move the runner around the base and be the first to get on the board. But Lovington would like to get this batter out without giving up the run. So sac bunt 1-3 in the books for the out number 2. Estrada looks at the first pitch, and it is ball 1. 1-0 the count. 2 outs, 1 on, runner on third. Scoreless so far in this game. Lovington would like to keep it that way and get in the dugout and get their bats swinging. Ooh, that just missed the inside corner. A throw down as Q hits Corral, trying to keep the runner Ornelas honest down there. Ornelas scrambles back.
You've got 2 outs. You really shouldn't do a whole lot of worrying about that runner at third unless you can just absolutely nail her.
That is going to just miss the outside corner. The ump looked at it a long time before he put his hand out and said too far away. So 2-0 the count, or 3-0 the count, really. Oh, boy. So Urahara got to bring the strike here, and it's too far. And that was too far inside, so Estrada worked the walk. So runners at the corners now for Roswell. Brings up the batter in the 9th position, number 10, Alani Tarin, your flex player. So 2 walks, 2 outs, runners at first and third, and Coach DePorto gathers the girls in the circle to just kind of make sure that everybody's on the same page. They've got their assignments. They know what to do. You got to go for the out.
Yeah, you can't worry about the runners at this point. This ump is, not giving Urahara the outside corner, so you might have to just adjust a little bit to where you're throwing to, and you don't want to lose the number 9 hitter with the top of the order coming up.
Nope. 2 outs, 2 on. And Lovington trying to get this third out without giving up a run. That's a beautiful pitch right over the outside corner, and that ball did not move. That was a fastball that hit the outside corner, and a beautiful pitch number 1. A little pop in that glove. As Urahara, you can tell a little frustration here as she's bearing down, and that just misses again. Just missed the outside corner. Even things up 1-1. As Lovington faithful getting a little impatient with the ump, but he's being consistent and he's being very careful about his calls. That a beautiful pitch brought the heat. Urahara kept that low and right over the outside corner.
And that was a good
part of the plate.
Yeah, and absolutely you're right. Good pitch. She kept that one lower. The last couple had been a little bit higher, so get her looking up. then get her looking down. Now maybe come back inside.
She keeps it up and goes high and away, as I think she was trying to sucker her into swinging, just trying to get her to chase one up on that outside corner. No dice, as Tarin gives it a look, and we're even 2-2. 2 outs, runners at first and third. No score in this one. A swing and a foul tip as Tarin stays alive. And wow, I just thought that was actually going to be a strike, and then got surprised that she caught a piece of it just with the end of her bat.
Yeah, she cut around on that one very, very late and just managed to get it on the very bottom of the bat and click it back as coach comes out to check on Quiroga, who got popped in the top of the head with that foul ball.
And
she's all right.
The ump used that time to clean off some real estate there, as the home plate had gotten pretty much obliterated. Oh, beautiful pitch. Urahara scoring her second strikeout of the game, and a good time for it. Out number 3, getting that batter in the 9th slot there. So another strikeout, out number 3. So Roswell threatens but comes up empty. So we go to the bottom of the second, still scoreless. We'll be back with more Lady Wildcats softball on Lovington Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com.
Introducing a smarter, easier way to manage your Lee County Electric account. It is called SmartHub. Now you can pay your bill anywhere, anytime with 24-hour access to your account. It is free and simple to use. Just search for the SmartHub app on your cell phone or device and download the free app, or go to our website at lcecnet.com and look for the SmartHub logo to view your account or pay your bill online. Managing your Lee County Electric account conveniently and securely with SmartHub. Lee County Electric, owned by those we serve.
Stone Oilfield Services says many traffic fatalities may be caused by an intoxicated driver. So do yourself and your community a favor and remember the 3 C's of safety: caution, courtesy, and above all, common sense. Safe and sober driving is everyone's responsibility. That message was from Stone Oilfield Services in Lovington, a name you can trust and depend on. For quality and integrity, call 575-396-1840. From the Stone family and staff at Stone Oilfield Services.
The Lady Coyotes strand 2 in the top half of the second after an inning and a half. No score. Lovington up to bat with the call. Dawn Morgan.
Thank you very much, TJ Miracle. No runs on no hits, no errors, and 2 left on in that top of the second inning. So bottom of the second, and again, it is heart of the order for the Lady Cats. 5, 6, and 7 due up, starting with number 13, Angelina Corral, your third baseman. First pitch in, and it's a ball. 1-0 the count. Foul back out of play off to the right for strike 1, as that's a 1-1 count. Angelino with a really good crack at that one. Just needs to maybe just catch a little bit more than a piece of it and swing just a little sooner on that. Tarin fires this one in, and a little line drive shot is going to fall in just behind first base. Nice, as that ball was just out of range, and it dropped right behind the first base, so Tarin on first couldn't get to it. Estrada really hustled and tried to catch that, but could not. So it is a single for Corral, and Lovington's in business with Leila Hernandez, shortstop, coming up to the plate. Olguin on deck and Garcia in the hole.
That one dropped in as Corral caught it on the fifth and just kind of powered it out there into no woman's land between Tarin and a charging Estrada.
First pitch is going to be high for ball number 1. So Leila Hernandez up at the plate. She flinched on that, thought about swinging, but did not, held off wisely. 1-0 the count. As Lovington, with a base runner on, wants to move her around and in. There's a swing and a foul back to the screen as Layla decided to swing at that kind of late and got just a piece of it. Swung kind of up and caught the underside of it. Fouled it back to the screen off the right. 1-1 count. No outs, 1 runner on. Lovington looking to get some, as you said, crooked numbers on the board. Oh, Hernandez chased a little. That was a little high. It was just on the outside corner maybe. That's kind of a pitch that Hernandez really finds hard to lay off on. When she connects, she can really send it. She's got more power than you would think looking at her. She's really able to pick up pitches and really hit the long balls. Problem is sometimes they're catchable balls when she sends them out in the field, but she is capable of launching one. So 2-2 is the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and a nice grounder. A hot one is knocked down by Aragon, but she just barely gets it. That's not going to be an error. That's an infield hit because Aragon did everything she could do, laid her body out just to stop it. It had a nice heat on that. As I said, Layla's got some power, and she used that for a hot grounder and now has a single, is on first, moved Corral over to second in scoring position, and brings Jocelyn O'Gean, first baseman, up to the plate. So no outs, 2 on. A good chance for Lovington to start running them across the plate here. That's going to stay high for ball 1. High and over the outside corner of the plate. So
important for Lovington here to keep the pressure on, if they can, on Tarin.
Garcia awaits on deck. Urahara in the hole. And a swing and a grounder right straight up the middle will score 1 as the throw comes in. The throw, they decide to throw it over to third, and the ball goes into the dugout, or almost into the dugout. It bounces back, so it scores 2, and that's going to move Olguin all the way over to third, although it really was a single.
Yeah, it was an RBI.
She moved around, an RBI single. She gets credit for 1 RBI on that.
And then the run scored on the second run scored, I should say, scored on a throwing error. So that will be from the cutoff person Estrada to Aragon. So it'll be an E4, which scored the second run. Lovington gets their crooked number.
And they're up 2-0 with no outs. And that pitch is going to stay high and inside for ball 1 on Garcia. So 2 runners across, who they both reached on singles, so that's great. They both got on base by hitting the ball, and then Olguin again with good solid contact. And that's going to be low in the dirt, and Garcia is going to work the 2-0 count now, that is.
Nice job by Marquez to get down on that one, block it out, and just pretty much walk it up the third baseline to keep Olguin stapled over at third.
Yeah, because Olguin was giving it a look, and had that ball been any further away, she might have gone for home. Garcia at the plate. Oh, a swing and a miss as Tarin just took a little bit of speed off of that, and Bailey Garcia swung just a little under that ball and just a hair in front of it. So 2-1 the count now. And a swing and a foul off out of play. A good cut at that. Garcia's got a lot of power as well. And she just caught a piece of that. And that went flying off toward the tennis courts on the right. Even up the count 2-2. So no outs. 2 runners across already. And that's Olguin after her RBI single. Sits over there on third after advancing on the throws. So Lovington in business on the board. And still rolling. If they can just keep this, keep batting around, just keep rolling. Swing and a little line drive straight up the middle will score 1. An RBI single for Garcia. She just lifted that straight over Tarin's head, right out there beyond seconds. A good solid hit. An RBI single for her brings Olguin home. Garcia's on first, and Urahara, the pitcher for Lovington, is up at the plate.
And 4 consecutive singles now for the Lady Cats have put 3 runs on the board. They'd like to just keep the train moving, and Urahara with a chance to help her own cause here.
Yeah, Daphne batting in the 9th order, but she is a batting pitcher, and sometimes you just have pitchers, just automatic flex players. She swings at the first one and just kind of a half swing. Does meet with the end of the bat, fouls it off to the screen for strike 1. And she's capable. So with no outs, it's a golden opportunity for Lovington to just keep the line moving here. Just keep the line moving. They're not doing anything big, spectacular, fancy. They're just meeting the ball, getting on base, moving around. That's what you want to do.
Yeah, put it in play and let good things happen.
And that is going to be caught. Now, of all the balls that have been pitched that haven't been called a strike, that have hit the outside corner, he calls that one on Daphne, the pitcher. So 0-2 count, not complaining, just observing. A swing, and Daphne, I think she was a little mad about that ball being called a strike, and she was ready. She snapped at that ball. She was way in front of it and ready to just send it out there. So instead, just hangs tough at the bat, 0-2 the count. And she's definitely capable bringing that runner around, moving that runner around or even in. Oh, a high fly ball headed out between left and center, but coming up under it is Ornelas in right field, catches it. And, wow, Urahara gave it a ride, a high fly ball. If she could just straighten that out, that would have gone over the fence. But instead, a fly out for out number one, just out number one. And now we're at the top of the order, bringing up to Anahi Quiroga, the catcher, up to the plate. Still just one out, one runner on first. And Quiroga, who worked a walk and got stranded her last time, is up at the plate. First pitch is in, a call strike. A lot of pop in the glove as Tarin now showing a little frustration in the circle. 0-1 count on Quiroga. She worked the walk. She worked a 3-1 count. Her first time up, took the walk, and then got stranded on first. Morales is on deck, and Ellis in the hole for Lovington. Oh, and that's going to be high.
Yeah, it looked like that one maybe hung up a little bit in Kareem's hand and then sailed on her. Nice job by Marquez to keep Garcia over at first.
Sometimes that's a function of just a release. You don't release when you're supposed to, and sometimes your stride is either a little too short or long for some reason. And that one is low and inside for ball two. So 2-1. And, you know, this is the kind of thing that can get into a pitcher's head, though. It's not just the long, you know, the home run ball that gets in your head as a pitcher. It's getting shelled, getting hit after hit after hit, and watching runs go up on the board against you. And that's something that can erode your self-confidence and start really making a visible difference in the circle.
Well, and coming into the top of the very potent Lovington lineup, Tareen started coming right after Quiroga, but then kind of backed off.
And that is going to miss, although that's dangerous for Quiroga to assume that that's going to be a strike, that's going to be a ball before it's called. Sometimes umps don't like that, and if it's a close one, they'll just go ahead and say that it's a strike just to make their point. But this time it works is Q takes her first base and moves Garcia over to second. So just one out still. Runners on first and second for Lovington. Morales is at the plate. Ellis on deck. Sanchez in the hole. And Roswell wants to take a timeout as, you know, here they are in the bottom of the second inning, and they're already, you know, in a bit of trouble here as they're down 3-0 with just the one out. Now the ump's going to come out and say, okay, ladies, your time is up. Your time for your timeout is up, and let's play ball. So it's Honey Morales who popped out to the first baseman her first time up. She's over and due and would like to move her teammates around and maybe even in and just keep the line moving here and keep those scores going up the board while Lovington is hot.
Yeah, and that's all you need to do is just make contact, keep the line moving. You don't need to be the hero. You're up 3-0. Just, you know, keep piling it on.
First pitch is going to be high and outside, and Marquez drops it, but picks it up right away as there's movement out there on both second and first, keeping an eye on a ball that might be a pass ball enough to be able to get over to third and second. But the runners stay put. That is Garcia on second, Quiroga on first. And a swing and a hot grounder is going to be a foul ball. It went foul just in front of the bag, although Aragon over there on third went ahead and made the play and the stop. And that's what you want to do. You know, if you're on first.
Yeah, that was smart.
Yeah, if you're on first or third or even out in the field, you know, you go ahead and make the play. And that way, you know, you have to wait to the ball might be called foul. It might be called fair. It's not your responsibility. You still play it. And that is going to come in low for another ball.
Yeah, and I think, too, that Aragon over there was hoping that maybe she'd touched it in or in fair territory, which would have made it a fair ball.
Mm-hmm. But it was already foul. So it just became a strike, and now it's 2-1, the count on Morales. 3 with runners on first and second. Swing and a high fly ball out of play over to the right for strike two. So now we've got a full count on Morales. Just 2-2. Okay, just 2-2. Sorry.
Now's the time to bear down. If Tareen gets one in your sweet spot, you've got to, and even if it's close, you've still got to take a hack at it no matter what.
Got to protect the plate.
Protection time.
With 2 strikes on you. Whether they're 2 balls or 3, you've still got the 2 strikes on you. Ellis on deck, Sanchez in the hole for Lovington. And a swing and a great hit right straight up the middle again, and looks it's not going to score any, but it's going to be a great solid single for Honey Morales, who gets to take first base, and now bases are loaded. It moved Garcia over to third, moved Quiroga to second, and now brings up Ellis, who is hitting in the third slot in the lineup and playing center field up to the bat. She flied out to right field her first time up. She's over. 1 out, bases loaded. Swing and a high fly popped back out of play for strike one. As Ellis very anxious, she hit the third pitch she saw her first time up and hit that long fly ball out to right field. This time she hit at the first ball she saw. She's anxious to hit. That stays high for ball one. 1-1 the count.
Yeah, going to be important here just to keep the line moving, as on that first pitch, Ellis swung up just a little bit, same as she did on the fly out back in the first. Just kind of level that swing out a little bit, and good things will happen.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Level that swing out. Oh, and yes, she kind of a little halfway check swing, but she went all the way, and that counts. So 2 strikes on her. As a walk's as good as a hit, especially when the bases are loaded. You can get an RBI walk if you just watch the ball, and if she were to get enough balls to take her base, that would be great. She's going to let that one go outside, and ball 2.
Yeah, the infield is in. They're going to try and cut off the run at the plate for anything in the infield, but they're willing to give up a run for an out. They're playing back in the outfield.
Or if it's a double playable ball, they would like to take that. Lovington wants to avoid hitting into the double play, and that ball comes in high over the center of the plate, but too high, so it evens up. It makes the runs the count full now, 3-2. So full count, bases loaded, 1 out. Ellis at the plate, Corral on deck, Sanchez on deck, Corral in the hole, and a foul back. Out of play, caught by some Lovington fan, hooded Lovington fan out there, caught barehanded. He's going to throw it right back in. So he had a round of applause. Sorry it doesn't count as an out, but still.
Oh, I'm not. I'm sure Roswell's not real happy that it's not an out. But
right.
Not the way it works.
Right. Sorry, only for the fan, not for the team's sake. Oh, and there's a grounder up to short, and they throw home to get the force out, and they do. They do get cut off the lead run, and that's the type of hit. That's the type of hit you didn't want, and that's the reason why Roswell was playing in. That way, on a ground ball like that, they could scoop it up and have time to throw to home and get the force out, because all the catcher had to do was touch the base. So 2 outs now, but bases still stay loaded. Ellis reaches on the fielder's choice. And that pitch comes in high and inside for ball 1 on Sanchez, your designated player, hitting in the cleanup position.
And she'd like to clean them up right here.
She sure would, and Lovington would like that. The team would love to see a nice dinger clean off the bases. Oh, and she cut at it a little too strong. And again, don't think about the home run so much as just make contact with the ball and try to get it out of the infield if you can. Although Lovington has another out to give.
No, they don't.
No, they don't. They're out. They've got 2 now. That's right. They've got 2. And there's a force on any base. And yes, that was a swing, kind of a little half-hearted slap at that. But she broke the plane. So 1-2 the count. With 2 outs, with that force at home, where they called Garcia out, and that ball comes in, ooh.
Just a little low.
Yep, so 2-2, evens it up. Sanchez got to be very careful, protecting the plate. 2 outs, bases loaded, like to keep it going, and she hits foul out of play off to the right toward the tennis courts there. Good cut, just a little bit late. And actually, Tadine doing a pretty good job in the circle now, varying her speeds and the location of her pitches and keeping Lovington batters just a little off kilter. Oh, and that is a call. Strike 3. Oh, yes. That was a good pitch by Tadine, and Sanchez just sat and watched that go by for a strikeout, and that ends the at-bat. But Lovington is able to get 3 runs across, so they're up 3-0, and we'll be back with the top of the 3rd inning And more Lady Wildcat softball coming your way on Lovington Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com.
Introducing a smarter, easier way to manage your Lee County Electric account. It is called Smart Hub. Now you can pay your bill anywhere, anytime with 24-hour access to your account. It is free and simple to use. Just search for the Smart Hub app on your cell phone or device and download the free app, or go to our website at lcecnet.com and look for the Smart Hub logo to view your account or pay your bill online. Managing your Lee County Electric account conveniently and securely with Smart Hub. Lee County Electric, owned by those we serve.
Stone Oilfield Services says many traffic fatalities may be caused by an intoxicated driver. So do yourself and your community a favor and remember the 3 C's of safety: caution, courtesy, and above all, common sense. Safe and sober driving is everyone's responsibility. That message was from Stone Oilfield Services in Lovington, a name you can trust and depend on. For quality and integrity, call 575-396-1840. From the Stone family and staff at Stone Oilfield Services,
The Lady Cats played 3 runs on 5 hits, 1 error committed by Roswell, and there were 3 runners left on. They were left juiced, but Lovington takes the lead. And with the call as we head to the 3rd, here's Dawn Morgan.
Thank you, TJ Miracle. 3-0 is your score, and through 2 complete innings, Lovington has left 4 runners on base, but it's hard to argue when they do put 3 runners across, and they have the lead 3-0. And coming up to start this top of the 3rd is going to be the top of the lineup. And that pitch is going to miss high and outside for ball 1.
He calls it a strike.
Oh, all right. A late
call.
I had looked down and already marked it as a ball when it had, didn't see that. So, all right then. So 0-1 count. Swing and a hit, a grounder. Oh, and it actually looked like it was going to go between 3rd and short, and Hernandez knocked it down, but then let it dribble off of the end of her glove toward left field. So gotta ride an E6 on that. That was a stoppable, playable ball, and Layla with a good arm has been known to knock those down and fire over to first, but an E6 will put Tarin on base. And Aragon up at the plate.
And Aragon with the single her last time up, then got a little bit greedy and got thrown out by Garcia. The good arm out in left field. Trying to stretch it to a double.
Right. So she had the single, so she's 1 for 1 and looking very carefully at the pitches. 2 balls in and no strikes. 2-0 the count with no outs, 1 runner on. And Lovington's got to be very careful here not to give Roswell the opening to have their own 3-0 or better inning. And that ball stays inside. Interesting, Aragon turned away. She didn't move back out of the way of the ball. She turned her shoulder, but still it was missed. She did not get hit. 3-0 the count. Got to have a strike here, and yes. Oh, just missed the outside corner. Call for and a walk. Puts Aragon on first and Tarin on second in scoring position. Brings up number 4, Lauren Lucero, the left fielder, up to the plate. She walked and got stranded her first time up. This is her second time at the plate, and Morales is on deck. Ornelas in the hole. 2 on and no outs. Lovington really needs to work the outs and get those outs without giving up more potential runs.
Zudahata drills that one right down the middle and let her high, as Lucero's probably not going to see a better pitch than that all season. But holds off. Strike 1.
1-0 the count. And that's a long fly ball hit to center field. Going back up under it is Ellis. Nice catch. Fires over to third base to Corral and holds Tarin on second. Very nice work. Good clean field work, as that throw was almost long, but Corral reaches up on her tippy toes and catches that and keeps that from going past her. But Lucero out with a fly out to long hit, a well-hit ball out to center, but that was Ellis with a really good catch out there for out number 1. And the next batter up looks at the first pitch. It's called. Strike on the inside corner against Sarai Morales.
That one had a little late movement right at the tail end, and it just nipped the inside corner. Morales wasn't ready for it.
0-1 count. Morales struck out her first time up. A swing and a miss as nice work by Urahara.
A piece of that one, actually.
Got a piece of it.
Quiroga's up and not feeling too good.
Yeah, as she got just a little bit. Still, it was a good pitch. Urahara coming back on the outside corner that time. And I think even without the swing, it might have been called a strike. But 0-2 count. Quiroga gonna, I think, got her foot.
Yeah, maybe foot or knee right inside, right where there's no pad.
Right, and man, those things hurt. Or maybe even just on the toe, as those really hurt. They make your bones, they ring your bones like a bell. They jar you, and it takes a little while to walk it out and before it feels good again. And it's probably going to be a nice little bruise there for her. But 0-2 count.
Catchers are the toughest people on the planet.
Q is tough, and she's back behind the plate, ready for the next pitch. 0-2. With one out, runners on first and second. Lovington needs this out number 2 is a really important one. If they can get this batter, and before they move on, this is going to be excellent. So far in the circle, there's a hit right up the middle, and that is going to move the runner over to third. The throw coming in, beautiful throw right on target to Quiroga. Wow, Ellis doing a nice job as that ball was played as well as you could play it. She came in, stopped it, made a perfect throw, and keeps Tarin from scoring. So Tarin does move over to third. Aragon moves to second, and Morales with the single is on first. Now, bad news for Lovington is bases are loaded with one out, and that brings up Ornelas, the right fielder to the plate. She walked and got stranded her first time up. There's a swing and a foul as that ball had some good movement. Urahara throwing the breaking ball in the inside corner, and Ornelas, again, talk about getting kind of ringing like a bell. She swung at that, and I think it bounced down and hit her foot.
Yeah, actually, she foul tipped it off of her foot. Yeah, that's
what I mean. Is she swung at it, it fouled, and it bounced it down. It bounced off of her foot. And wow, those can really hurt. And as a batter, you don't have any padding. At least there's a chance as a catcher that your padding is going to protect you. As a batter, man, those hurt. So gingerly, she steps back in the box. So an 0-1 count on Ornelas now. As with one out, Lovington is looking to try to get this second out. That misses inside for ball 1-1 the count.
Trying to get some late break on that one, and Urahara just didn't get it to break quite far enough.
Urahara with 2 strikeouts and 4 walks issued in this game so far. But Lovington still with a 3-0 lead, looking to protect that here, trying to keep Roswell from breaking things open and getting runs around. That's going to miss outside for ball 2. 2-1 the count. As Marquez waits on deck, Hernandez in the hole. But if they get that far, Lovington would like to get this batter out in the next one, or maybe even get a double playable ball. And that, is just blistered out of bounds, off to the left, out of play, as Ornelas was way in front of that. She was sitting and waiting on that medium speed pitch down the pike from Urahara, and just blistered that off. Love it. Luckily, foul for strike 2. So we're even 2-2 with 1 out. Bases loaded. A lazy swing, and that's going to be a strikeout. Although Quiroga, what is she?
Yeah, with the bases loaded, you're not required to go down.
But she does. She takes her bat with her. Quiroga knew she wasn't required to throw. I think that was a means to try to sucker Quiroga into throwing down to first, maybe making a bad throw and allowing Tarin to come in from third, but it didn't work. So Ornelas, a strikeout number 3 for Urahara, and the first pitch in on the next batter comes in, and it is a strike. So 0-1 count on Marquez. Strikeout for out number 2. That was a big strikeout for Urahara. As out number 2, now Lovington just needs to get the third out, and that's going to miss outside and low for ball 1. So if they can just and I know that Urahara is trying to pitch to the corners to try to keep Marquez from having anything solid to really send out of the infield. She wants to try to keep this in the infield, get this third out without giving up a run. Swing and a miss. Beautiful as Urahara changing up the speed on that just a little bit. Marquez was in front of that pitch. 1-2 count now. So Lovington within one strike of getting out of this inning without any damage being done. They would like to protect their shutout that they have going on, 3-0 against Roswell, and that's going to miss outside. So 2-2 the count now, as that was a pitcher's count before, and Urahara had a ball to give. So now there's a question, Urahara coming up. Oh, I think something was on the field, and gives it to the ump, and he hurls it over there toward the Roswell dugout.
Yeah, must have found a rock or something out there.
Maybe a barrette or some kind of something from a uniform, piece of off of a uniform or off of a girl's hair or something. So 2-2 count. A little swing and a foul as it hit her while she was in the box. So she swung at it, and then while Marquez was still in the box, it hit her. So that's a foul ball, and the count just stays 2-2. So 2 outs, runners on every base. Bases are loaded. Lovington in a hold your breath moment here, and a little hit right back to the pitcher. A little low line drive to Urahara as she reaches down, snaps it up, and 1 unassisted in the books. And Lovington gets out of a jam after having bases loaded. They manage the 3rd out without giving up any runs. We're going to go to the bottom of the 3rd, 3-0. Lovington coming up to the bat. More Lady Wildcat softball coming up on Lovington Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com.
Lovington Schools proudly supports their athletic teams and wants to encourage all teachers, students, and staff to keep pressing on. Wildcats, you are winners on and off of the court. Lovington Municipal Schools are proud of holding the utmost and highest standards. Go out there and be proud to be part of the Big Blue. For more information on what is happening now at Lovington Schools, log on to lovingtonschools.net and bet you won't be disappointed. Go Big Blue. 3 claps and a woo!
Attention shoppers, Bob's Thriftway welcomes you to Lovington, New Mexico. This week you'll save big on grocery items throughout their store. Save big on produce, household items, bread products, and meats. Every week, Bob's Thriftway has big savings for their customers. Bob's Thriftway is your local hometown grocery store. So for the freshest produce, the best meats, shop Bob's Thriftway, 906 West Avenue D in Lovington.
For Roswell in the top half of the 3rd inning, no runs on 1 hit, 1 error committed by Lovington, and the bases were left loaded, so Urahara gets out of a jam. We head to the bottom of the 3rd, Lovington 3, Roswell nothing, and with the call, here's Dawn Morgan.
Yeah, and in 3 at-bats, now Roswell has left 6 on base and has not been able to put one across the plate. So now it's Lovington's turn to get back to work. They lead 3-0, and they would love to take the heart of the order, 5, 6, and 7 up due, and turn those into runs like they did last at-bat. It was the same Corral, Hernandez, Olguin who were up first 3 batters in the last at-bat. Corral looks at the first one long. I think that's out of here. That's out of here. That's out. No, it's almost out of here. It hits right at the base of the fence out there in between center and left field, but a well-hit ball as Corral smacks the first pitch she sees and is on base with a stand-up double.
Yeah, the wind's not blowing in. That one probably is out there over the Legendary Services sign. But, just enough wind to kind of hold that one up and keep it in the park. Hernandez not able to get to it quickly, and then it kind of kicked over towards the Stone Oilfield Services sign, one of our great sponsors, by the way. And so let Angelina get to second with the double.
And Layla Hernandez, shortstop, is up, and she got on with a single and crossed the plate her last time up. First pitch, she swings a little too early, a little anxious, and strike 1. But now she's ready, as they say. Now you're ready. You'll hear the fans say that in the stands after a swing and a miss or a swing and a foul. And that, a long high ball. I think that is out of the park. No, that hits the base of the fence as well. Twice now. I've thought it was out, but that's going to be a stand-up double for Layla Hernandez. I talked to during her first at-bat about the fact that she's got a lot of power and is capable of that long ball. And again, that came probably within less than a foot of being hit out of the park, hit right at the base of the left field fence, and put her on second. Moved Corral around to third.
And the only reason Corral doesn't score on that one is because she has to wait to
make
see.
sure that it wasn't caught.
Right. Well, and she has to tag up to go.
Right.
So.
That's what I mean. That she had to wait and if it was caught, she'd have to tag up. She couldn't just go. So that puts Corral on third. Hernandez with a solid double out on second. So a couple of well-hit long balls. We're going to have a pitching change for Roswell, and we'll have we'll probably go ahead and take the time at. Looks like that is number. Does that remember 12?
Aragon, yeah.
That's Aragon, who is number 12. Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Aragon.
Okay, Aragon. So she'll have some warm-up pitches, and I think we'll just keep it right here as she'll take a few warm-up pitches and then be ready. So with no outs and runners on second and third, that is Roswell deciding to make a pitching change. So Aragon comes over from third and is the pitcher. I wonder if
I believe Tareen just changed places with her. Yep.
They just swapped places. So Aragon in the circle, and Tareen takes over third place. I love it when that happens. I love a clean switch. That keeps the books a lot simpler that way. It's a lot easier to keep track of. So Aragon in the circle now, and Olguin, who bats in the seventh place for Lovington, is up now. She's the third batter in this rotation in this at-bat, though. So no outs, runners on second and third. Olguin at the plate, Garcia on deck, Urahara in the hole. And Olguin had an RBI single and crossed the plate her first time up. She would like to do at least that well this time, and Lovington would love to have the runs in. They lead 3-0 over Roswell. That is going to hit the outside corner. Well, the ump took a very long time in making that call, being very careful, giving you a look. And Aragon, to her credit, starts off with a pretty good speed and hit the outside corner, 0-1 on Olguin. That misses high, as I think that was intended as just a changeup, but it got caught and...
Yeah, almost looked like an ephus pitch in baseball. It just kind of went whoop and in there.
It was way high for ball one. 1-1 the count now. And there's a hit back to the circle as Aragon bobbles it, but then coming over from a shortstop is Morales, who picks it up, throws over to first for the out, but it gets a run in. So with the sac RBI, Olguin becomes the first out, but she does manage to get Corral over the plate, move Hernandez over to third, and Garcia had... Let's see.
Hernandez at third.
That's right.
Corral scores.
Corral scored, and Hernandez
Garcia
at
now
third,
at the
and
plate.
Garcia is at the plate. There we go. Thank you very much. There were only two on, so that sac RBI is the first out, and now only a runner at third for Lovington. Garcia to the plate. She had an RBI single and got thrown out in a force out at home her first time up, and yes, she swings at that. So a little half-hearted swing, but it counts. It broke the plane, and that means it's 1-1 now on Garcia. So one out, one across the plate, a runner on third. Oh, and a change-up is going to hit the outside corner. It was a very slow pitch. It was an off-speed pitch, and Lovington faithful not liking that call, but the ump said he felt like no matter what the speed was, it crossed the outside corner. And then she comes back with a faster ball, not a true fastball, but about a medium speed ball, but it stays low and, in fact, gets away from Marquez, but she comes up with it enough that it keeps the runner Hernandez on third. So just becomes ball number 2, 2-2 the count, with Garcia at the plate, Urahara on deck. And that's a little grounder headed to second. Estrada picks it up. Oh, she bobbles it. She was going to pick it up, and it goes beneath her glove and behind her and is an E. So that allows Garcia to reach, and that's going to get Hernandez home. So that's Garcia reaches on the
E4, but does get the RBI.
She does. It's an error, but an RBI. She reaches, and that cleans off the bases except for Garcia on first, of course, now. So Hernandez came home, and now it's 5-0, Lovington leading. And that pitch is going to hang up high and outside, get beyond Marquez. A wild pitch is going to advance Garcia. After Garcia reaches on the error, now she moves to second on a wild pitch.
And one thing I'm noticing about Aragon is she does not have quite the speed that the starter Tarin did. If Lovington can zero in on her, they could make this interesting.
So Urahara is your batter, batting in that 9th slot for Lovington in the circle, starting pitcher, of course. And after her, it's top of the order, Quiroga and Morales. But Lovington's not done. They'd like to just keep the line moving here with just one out. They certainly could. Urahara, a line drive shot out to center, is going to fall in, and Hernandez picks it up, fires to second base, hits the cutoff man at the cutoff woman, that is, the shortstop, turns around, and that's a well-played ball, but a nice solid hit for Urahara, as that's a single. She had a fly out to right field her first time up, so she's 1 for 1 now, and still just 1 out with runners at the corners for Lovington, brings up top of the order.
Quiroga, who's worked a couple of walks and been left stranded a couple of times.
And they're going to have a courtesy runner over there for Daphne Urahara, the pitcher, and that's going to be Johanna Ochoa, who's going to run for Urahara, the pitcher, and oftentimes the catcher will have courtesy runners for them. Quiroga is a catcher who likes to do her own running, and she's a leadoff hitter, and she's a very good base runner. She's quick. She's very wiry, limber, got a lot of speed. So 1 out, runners at the corners for Lovington. They lead this one 5-0. First pitch comes in, it's going to be a ball, so 1-0 the count. Lovington with a golden opportunity here to just keep the line moving and to add some more scores on the board. 5-0. They've got a good shutout going against Roswell here, and they've broken their first pitcher, and they're in on the relief pitcher. That stays low and inside for ball 2 as Quiroga has worked 2 walks and gotten stranded both times. She'd like to get on base any way she can, but at least cross the plate, have a chance to cross the plate this time if she can. 2-0 count. 1 out, 2 on, runners at first and third. And a nice line. Oops, a little pop-up is going to fall just beyond the shortstop. A little line drive is going to be too much for Morales out there. She put a glove up but could not get a glove on it, and that is going to score 1. So coming in from third is Garcia.
And that'll move Ochoa to second, and then Quiroga the RBI single. So nice piece of hitting right there.
Exactly. So Quiroga with an RBI single brings up Morales, second baseman, up to the plate. So now runners on first and second, and she hits at the first pitch she sees and fouls it off out of play off to the right for strike 1. So Morales chops into the first pitch she sees, anxious to hit and keep the line going for Lovington. So that is Ochoa, or that is Johanna Ochoa out there on second base in scoring position, courtesy runner for the pitcher. And that pitch is just a little outside and high for ball 1. So Morales with a 1-1 count on her. She hit a single and got stranded her last time up. She popped out to the first baseman. Her first time up, she's 1 for 2. 1 out, runners at first and second. There's a grounder headed for second base. Estrada picks it up, flips it over to second, and time to cut the lead runner off, but they cannot turn the double play in time. So that does move the runner over to third as Ochoa moves to third. Quiroga is out at second, and Morales reaches on the fielder's choice. So runners at the corners again for Lovington, now with 2 outs. And that brings up Ellis to the plate. Ellis.
So we're going to have a pinch hitter. That'll be Yaya Garcia coming into pinch hit for Ellis.
All right, Yaya Garcia. She did a lot of pinch hitting in that Black Gold tournament in those 3 games that Lovington played and took third place in that tournament. Was that just last weekend, or was that? I think that was 2 weekends ago.
2 weekends ago,
2 weekends ago. All right. So
it's been a long couple of weeks.
It has certainly been. But Yaya Garcia, she's capable. of smacking the ball. That's why she comes in as a pinch hitter, designated hitter at times. So 2 outs, runners at first and third. That is going to hit the outside corner for a call, strike 1 on Yaya Garcia. Pinching for Zimri Ellis. Ellis had reached on a fielder's choice and gotten stranded and hit a fly out to the right field for her first 2 at-bats. And this is going to float over the center of the plate but stay low for ball 1. So 1-1 count now with runners at first and third. That is Ochoa on third. That's Morales on first after reaching on the fielder's choice. And a swing and a ground ball hit between short and third. It's all that Morales could do to knock it down. It goes out in left field. It will score 1, and that's just a hit. That's an RBI single, as not an error. There was no way that Morales, that was a playable, fieldable ball. She did well just to reach it, to knock it down. That's my opinion. You agree?
Single.
Yeah, it's an RBI single for Yaya Garcia. And that puts runners at first and second now as Morales moves over to second. So you'll have Yaya Garcia will have a courtesy runner for her. And that is going to be...
That may be Zimri coming back in.
We'll see.
Double check.
Yeah, we'll double check. I can't see her yeah, I think that's number, is it number 2 or 3? Well, we'll catch it. First pitch is in, and it's a ball on Sanchez. Sanchez at the plate. 1-0 count. She struck out her last time up. She grounded out her first time up, so she's 0 for 2 and due, as they say. And that comes in low and inside for ball 2. So Sanchez with a good eye. Still trying to catch that number out there. It's number 6.
So Xavier is back in running.
Zimri.
Thank you.
Zimri Ellis is running. Oh, and that's going to catch the outside corner, and a throw down to first is going to catch the runners off base, and they're going to try to get a run down, but I tell you what, it was safe. A call safe as Morales. Oh, and then they throw over to first, and they were able to get another hot box running, as they say.
But and they got the run in.
They did get the run in. The run scored before they got the out called at second, and there's some question about that, but that is the rule. I mean, the runner from third did score, and so the first hot box failed for Roswell. It succeeded for Lovington as they sacrificed the out, and but still.
I'm not sure I've got enough room on the score sheet to write down what that was.
That's just crazy. But it was a safe. The throw over to third did not get Morales, and then Morales ended up coming in. Ellis moved over and got caught between first and second and ended up getting thrown out for the third out. So in that hot box, and I think it was the shortstop or the second baseman throwing over and tagging. Actually, it ended up being unassisted because it was a tag.
No,
so,
actually,
was
the way you would score that, and this is
okay.
You'll have to bear with me, and I'll go back and look at the video and correct this if I need to.
Okay.
It should be, and I don't swear to this completely, but it should be 2 to 3 to 6 to 5. To 4 to 3 to 6.
Okay, yeah, the throw.
It's a whole bunch.
The throw over to third,
yes.
And then the hot box between second and third,
Mm-hmm.
and then the throw from third over to second, and then got the hot box going between the first and second baseman over there, and then got the rundown for the out. It's as it stands. I mean, we're explaining a lot of things that really only matter to us in the scorebook, because what it means is they got 3 outs, but Lovington managed to get 4 runs in the process, and they are up 8 to nothing.
Correct.
Yes, is the score. We talked all the way through the change in the innings, but that's all right too. And now, with your score of 8 to nothing, Roswell High is up to the bat again, top of the 4th inning, and it's the bottom of the order, 7, 8, 9, with Hernandez up, and there's a high fly ball coming under. It's Morales catching it over, ends up over behind first base. So a pop out by Hernandez for out number 1 is going to bring up Estrada to the plate, and Tarin is on deck, and then Tarin, top of the order, if we get that far. Pop out for out number 1. Nice work by Honey Morales. Good hustle coming over and calling everybody off and then catching that and hanging on to it. So a pop out to 4. Now Estrada at the plate, swings at the first pitch she sees and fouls it back to the screen for strike 1. 0-1 the count. With 1 out, nobody on. Bottom of the order. Lovington needs to just work on these outs, get them as quick as they can at the bottom of the order before they turn it back up to the top. And protect their shutout if they can. Oh, there's a ground ball. Oh, Hernandez doing a great job of knocking it down, and then she sails it. An error on the throw, but that ball bounces off of either the screen or the dugout and comes back out and keeps the runner at first. So Estrada is going to reach on the E6. She knocked it down, but then Layla, just too much power, sailed it just a little too high.
Yeah, just rushed the throw a little bit, didn't have her feet set good, and just tried to get it over there too quick. Estrada with pretty good speed as a second baseman, so, give her credit. She pressured the throw a little bit.
And Tarin at the plate now. The first pitch is low and inside for ball 1. Lovington just needs to settle down. They're way in front of this one, and they need to just maybe seal things off, shut things down here, not allow any runs, just work on out by out by out. Got 2 more to get. 1-0 the count on Alani Tarin, who's bottom of the order. A little chopper over to third. Corral knocks it down, fires over to second base. Then Honey firing over to first with misses the throw a little bit. Not sure it would have been in time to get the runner anyway. So Lovington trying to work that double play and working it almost, but they do manage to get that lead run, and that's always a good thing. Good basics, out for Lovington. Just a few little jittery errors here and there. Still, they're up way ahead on the board, and the first pitch comes in, and it's going to be a ball on Tarin. So 1 out, 1 runner on. That's Estrada on first, Tarin at bat, and then Elena Tarin in the hole. A grounder over to Honey Morales at second, and she bobbles that. It goes out into right field, but it's picked up and thrown over to third. Did she get her? No, it was close, but almost. Hernandez doing a really nice job out in right field as she backed that play up, was right behind Morales and picked it up and then made a good throw. Got a good arm hitting Corral over there on third, just not quite in time to get the runner. So a couple of errors have things, as Lovington needs to tighten things back up. They may have loosened up a little bit knowing that they're so far ahead, but they've got to tighten things up here. And they've let a couple of runners get on for Roswell here. And runners at second and third now. And Tarin, the leadoff hitter, at the plate. First pitch was a ball. This was the second when it comes in low and inside.
Actually, that's Edigon, the number 2 hitter.
So sorry about that. I'm looking at the wrong square. 2-0 the count on Aragon. And that is going to be a call strike on the outside corner, so 2-1. Runners on second and third for Roswell. A couple of errors here, fielding errors for Lovington, opening the door for Roswell. And that is just going to miss. I was waiting, thinking he might call that a strike. Instead, it's a ball 3. 3-1 the count. Lucero on deck, Morales in the hole. And that, is going to be a call strike. He thinks about it and then finally puts up the fist. 3-2, the count full.
So now you finally got one on that outside corner.
That's right.
Let's make it pay off here.
Payoff pitch, swung on and fouled out of play off to the right, so count remains full on Aragon, hanging tough at the plate.
This might be a good time for Urahara to really think about that changeup. She's only thrown it a couple of times. Or just run it by her.
And so nice strikeout as Aragon goes down, and that is the third out. And Roswell threatens, but they come up empty. as a strikeout ends their threat. And Lovington faces 5 batters, 3 outs, and they remain ahead 8-0. We'll be back with the bottom of the 4th inning with more Lady Wildcats softball on Lovington Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com.
Western States Insurance.
Why choose Western States Insurance as your independent insurance agent? Because Western States Insurance is more than an insurance agency. They're a people agency dedicated to the insurance needs of their customers. Western States Insurance is large enough to provide the products you demand and small enough to offer you personal service.
We've got you covered. Western States Insurance.
Call 396-1318 or go by 212 North Love in Lovington.
Eunice Pump and Supply has been around for over 30 years and is excited to continue their services to the community. They take pride in their employees and their hard work and dedication, and most importantly, take pride in the youth of Lee County. Eunice Pump and Supply is a proud supporter of all Lee County athletics and academics. Eunice Pump and Supply, 1310 Avenue O in Eunice, another proud supporter of Lee County athletics.
Roswell threatens again, but comes up empty in the top of the 4th. No runs, no hits, 2 errors committed by Lovington, and 2 more left stranded for Roswell. We go to the bottom of the 4th. All Lovington in this one, and with the call, here's Dawn Morgan.
Thank you very much. And I noticed, too, that in the circle, Udahara doing a nice job for Lovington. She's got 4 strikeouts now, 4 walks. She's managed a strikeout in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th innings. Now here we are, bottom of the 4th, Lovington up to the bat, heart of their order with 4, 5, and 6 due up. Sanchez, designated player, up first. And Lovington would like to add to their 8-0 lead here. Pitch is low and inside.
Of course, Sabry was batting when we had that bizarre 2, 3, 4, 2, 5, 9, 3, 7, whatever it's going to wind up being.
It was 2 rundowns, one where Lovington was safe at 3rd, and then the second rundown between 1st and 2nd was the 3rd out, but not before it scored a run, the 8th run for Lovington up there on the board, 8-0, and the pitch is in outside, and that's going to run the count to 3-1 on Sanchez. So 3 balls, 1 strike, as we've been talking. There have been pitches. And Sabry Sanchez with a pretty good eye. She struck out her last time up and grounded out her first time up. And she gets a do-over with this one with a count. And a little dribbler back to the circle almost ended up being a base hit as the second baseman, Estrada, came over to cover, but she almost didn't make it in time as coming in on the bunt were both Tarin and Aragon coming in on it. But the throw manages to get there in time.
Just barely. The ump had signaled safe at first and then was like, oh, okay, I guess right there.
So 1-4 for out number 1. And that brings up Corral. Angelina Corral, third baseman, up to the plate. She doubled and scored her last time up, singled and scored her first time up, and hits the first pitch she sees and fouls it off. Almost hits Layla Hernandez over there in the warm-up circle as it hits the screen and bounces off for strike 1. So 0-1 the count on Corral. Hernandez on deck and Olguin in the hole. Lovington with an 8-0 lead over Roswell High. A little grounder over to shortstop. Morales picks it up, fires over to Tanin at first. 6-3 in the books for out number 2. And that is going to bring up Layla Hernandez, your shortstop, to the plate. She's got a double and scored and a single and scored. So she is 2 for 2. Having a good game at the bat. A couple of uncharacteristic errors in the field. Oh, way out in front of that one. Lifts it way high, out of play, off to the left. And she's got a very deceptive, she has a quick swing, and she can do a lot of damage with it. You look at her and you wouldn't know and think that she has as much power as she does. And it's kind of the same way in volleyball. Layla plays volleyball, and she's a good player, has really improved over the last 2 or 3 seasons, and she really can smack that ball in volleyball. That's going to stay high and outside. So 1-1 the count now. Olguin is on deck. Garcia in the hole for Lovington.
And interestingly enough, it's been from 5 down that has done most of the damage for the
Lady
Cats.
Line drive shot out to deep left. Is it going to Nope, it's going to be off the fence. See, I held off on saying that was gone, and a good thing because, again, it was a long, well-hit ball that bounced off of the left field fence. Played pretty well by Lucero out there. She grabbed it, threw it in, but it's still going to be a stand-up double, her second of the game for Layla Hernandez. Puts her in scoring position at second base, brings up Olguin, first baseman, to the plate. She had hit a sac RBI her last time up, RBI single, and scored her first time up. First pitch is going to be inside and low for ball one.
Strike one.
Oh, strike. Wow. Again, he called that one really late. I had already looked down to write it as a ball when he put up the hand as a strike. So a call strike. 0-1 the count. And there's a smoking ground ball over to third base, but it rolls foul over beyond the Roswell dugout. So that'll be strike two on Olguin. 1-2 the count, or 0-2 the count, rather. That, if she can find her way on, then Garcia would be on deck and Urahara in the hole, although Urahara had a pinch hitter, Yaya Garcia, for her the last time up. And that is going to be a ball, I think, to finally be 1-2 count. So 2 outs, a runner in scoring position. Lovington would like to get the 2-out rally going here, bring Hernandez around and in. A nice ball. It's a grounder, though, picked up by Morales, fired over to first. So well-played ball there, and Olguin grounds out to the shortstop for the 3rd out. So Lovington comes up short. They put a runner on with 1 hit out of 4 batters, and they do not add to their lead. They go into the bottom of the 4th, or rather the top of the 5th inning, with an 8-0 lead, and we'll be back with Lady Wildcat Softball on Lovington Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com.
Devon Energy is proud to support the athletic programs of Lovington High School this season. By partnering with local schools in Lovington, Devon is making an investment in the long-term future of the community. Sports teach discipline, teamwork, and leadership. Skills our youth will use to succeed for a lifetime. From the Devon team to yours, Devon Energy wishes you good luck this season, both on the field and in the classroom. Go Wildcats!
When it comes to your hard-earned money, selecting the right bank is vital. Hi, I'm David Campbell, president of First American Bank in Lovington. First American Bank in Lovington is part of this community. So bank with trusted partners you know, and trusted partners that are part of this area we call home. First American Bank offers all the advantages big corporate banks do, and we do our banking with hometown support and commitment. Choose First American Bank, 19 West Washington in Lovington. We want to earn your trust, then earn your business.
In the Lady Cats, bottom of the 4th, no runs on 1 hit, no errors committed, and 1 runner left stranded. We head to the 5th with the call. Dawn Morgan.
8-0 your score here. The Lady Cats with, let's see, the Lady Cats scored none in their first at bat. They scored 3 runs in the 2nd inning. They scored 4 runs in the 3rd inning, or 5 runs rather. No, that's right.
5.
Yep, 5.
And the first pitch to Lucero is in there for called strike 1.
Lucero at the plate, Morales on deck, Ornelas in the hole. 3, 4, and 5 for Roswell in their lineup. And Lucero had a fly out to center field. Her last time up, walked and got stranded her first time up. That should be a call strike on the outside corner, and it is. I'm glad the ump agrees with me. I'm not allowed to call it from up here, but I can look and predict sometimes. 0-2 count on Lucero. So Urahara way in front of this batter. Lovington would like to get outs efficiently here and not open the door for Roswell. Strike 3 as Lucero goes down swinging, and that is strikeout number 5 for Urahara in this game. Is going to bring up Morales. The shortstop up to the plate, Ornelas now on deck, Marcus in the hole, and Morales had a single and got stranded her last time up, struck out her first time up. She's 1 for 2, and the first pitch is inside for ball 1. 1-0 count, 1 out, nobody on here in the top of the 5th inning. Lovington leading 8-0. And they'd like to keep it that way. Ooh, beautiful pitch, and that's a call strike right over the outside corner. No break to that at all, just a medium speed pitch right over the outside corner. Had Morales looking at it. She kind of flinched, but didn't offer. 1-1 count. Oh, the swing way out in front of that one as she pulled that grounder foul down the third base line for strike number 2. So, and that was a little bit inside, as I think that Morales was waiting on that and expecting for that to be either over the plate or on the inside corner. She was ready for it. In fact, more than ready. So Urahara may want to bring the, yep, and she pops it over to, second base. Oh, it's going to be tough to play. That's just a tough one. That's going to be an infield single.
Yeah.
Because Morales came up on it as it really was a bloop hit. Morales got it just on the end of her bat, and it kind of just hung up in the air. Morales came in trying to get it as quickly as she could, but it took a long time for that ball to hit the ground, and then she scooped it and with her glove and made it an accurate throw, little scoop over to Olguin, just not in time. So a single puts Morales on with one out. One on, and that brings Ornelas up to the plate. Are we going to have, is it Ornelas?
Yeah, that's Ornelas.
All right.
So.
The ump just took a minute and went over there to the dugout, toward the Roswell dugout. Don't know what that's about, but a single has Morales on first, one out, one on. Ornelas at the plate. Marquez on deck, Hernandez in the hole. Ornelas struck out her last time up, walked her first time up, and the first pitch is in, a ball. 1-0 count. Urahara with 5 strikeouts, 4 walks in this one. And Lovington with an 8-0 lead here in the top of the 5th. Oh, a swing, and did she break the plane? The call, nope, she did not go.
Wow, I thought she went.
The home plate ump appealed, looked down the line to the ump who's standing out there between first and second, and he said, nope, she didn't go. So Ornelas very close. Keeps it at 2-0.
I'm not sure that ump, and again, I'm not an umpire, and I appreciate them. I'm not sure he's got the right angle to call that one.
That is going to be away and outside for ball 3. And I think in that case, if the home plate ump wasn't sure about the call, I'm not sure. I think that's only if he thought he didn't see it or if he wasn't sure if she broke the plane. I think he had a better angle to see and make the judgment whether she did or not. That is going to hit the inside corner. Urahara throws the strike when she has to on a 3-0 count there. And a little heat on that as well, as that broke late to the inside. 3-1 the count now. As Urahara, I think, a little aggravated at that last call. And now she misses inside to issue the walk. Ornelas is patient and gets on first, and that moves Morales over to second. And with one out, runners on first and second, Marquez up to the plate. Marquez is the catcher for Roswell, and she hit into, first baseman handled that unassisted.
Actually, it was a line out to the pitcher her last time up.
Not second baseman. I've got it as one, position one. I'm saying first baseman, but it's actually the pitcher. One unassisted her last time up, and she grounded to the third baseman, grounded out her first time up, so she's 0 for 2. Yeah, I don't know why. I'm looking at that 1 UA, one unassisted, which means pitcher unassisted, saying the first baseman. So the brain and the eyes don't always communicate the right way. That's all I'll say.
I completely understand.
All right, so after a little timeout, Lovington just wanted to get their heads together and make sure they knew with one out, runners on first and second, what they wanted to do. And the right thing to do here is not worry about a run. You're 8-0. Yeah, you'd like to have the shutout, but you are going to give up the run for the out if you can. A pop sends Layla Hernandez back a few feet, and she hangs on to it for out number 2. So Marquez swings at the first pitch she sees and pops out to the shortstop for out number 2. And that brings up number 8, Daniela Hernandez, the center fielder for Roswell. She popped out to second base to Honey Morales her last time up. She hit a sac bunt her first time up. And there is a swing and a foul back out of play for strike 1. So 0-1 the count, and 2 outs, 2 on here. Top of the 5th inning. Lovington is leading 8-0. With Hernandez. An 0-1 count at the plate. Estrada on deck. And Tarin in the hole. Oh, and a call strike for 0-2 count now as Urahara way out in front of this batter. And Lovington would like to just go ahead and end the Roswell threat right here if they can. Swing, and yes, call, strike on the outside corner, a half swing by Hernandez. I think she broke the plane anyway, so a strikeout for out number 3. Roswell puts 2 runners on, but can't move them across. So we are going to go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Lady Cats are in the lead, 8-0 over Roswell. More Lady Cats softball coming up right here on Lovington Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com.
It's no secret, at some point you'll have a question or need to replace or fix something on your vehicle. Whether your vehicle is new or ancient, Lovington Auto Supply is your trusted advisor when you need dependable auto parts. Not only do they have the parts you need, they have real answers to your real automotive questions, and that help keeps your vehicle running longer and stronger. Quality parts, helpful people. Lovington Auto Supply, 217 West Avenue D in Lovington. Napa, get up and go.
Introducing a smarter, easier way to manage your Lee County Electric account. It is called Smart Hub. Now you can pay your bill anywhere, anytime with 24-hour access to your account. It is free and simple to use. Just search for the Smart Hub app on your cell phone or device and download the free app, or go to our website at lcecnet.com and look for the Smart Hub logo to view your account or pay your bill online. Managing your Lee County Electric account conveniently and securely with Smart Hub. Lee County Electric, owned by those we serve.
For Roswell in their half of the 5th inning, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and they leave 2 more runners out on the base paths. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Lovington needing 2 runs to call it an early night. And with the call, here's Dawn Morgan.
Well, thank you very much. Roswell has left 10 runners on base through 5 at-bats. So that's a bit of an ouch when they look at getting blanked so far in this game. They can certainly point to that and say, they had runners on and didn't have timely hitting. Lovington's not going to cry about that because Lovington has been doing their best, playing a pretty good game. Just a couple of errors here and there, but pretty tight defensively and a good offensive game. And it's the bottom of the order coming up, 8, 9, and then 1 with Bailey Garcia at the plate. And she reached on an error, but it was an RBI and scored her last time up. And she hits a ground ball to shortstop. Morales picks it up, fires over to Tarin for the first out. So in the book, 6-3 for the first out. And that brings up Urahara. Daphne Urahara, your pitcher for Lovington. And she had a pinch hitter, Yaya Garcia, in for her last time up. And Yaya hit a single and then got stranded. Daphne had a fly out to right field her first time up.
8 of Lovington's 11 hits have come from 5 to 9.
And a well-hit ball between center and left is going to hit right at the fence, at the base of the fence, and going to give Daphne Urahara a stand-up double. Nicely hit ball. That's like about the 5th ball that's been hit that's hit right at the fence, right at the base of the fence. So nobody's hit it over tonight, but a lot of batters, especially Lovington batters, have come very close to that. Johanna Ochoa will run for Daphne Urahara after smacking that stand-up double with 1 out. Brings up top of the order now as Anahi Quiroga, the catcher, comes up to the plate. She had an RBI single and they got thrown out her last time up. First pitch is in. It's a ball, 1-0, as Quiroga also has worked 2 walks in the game as well. A swing and a line drive is going to hit between center and right field, and that should score 1 for sure, as Johanna Ochoa, the courtesy runner for Daphne Urahara, crosses the plate, and that's an RBI double for Quiroga as she stands out in scoring position on second base.
So a nice job there as Quiroga just sat back on that one, saw that she wasn't going to be able to pull it, and just took the pitch that Aragon gave her and drove it. Nice little line shot, and with Ornella shading over towards the line at right, that one got all the way to the wall out at the Lovington Auto Supply sign.
So now it's 9-0. Lovington's favor, and that's going to be a call strike at the letters and on the outside corner against Morales. She nods and says, yep, she thinks that was a strike.
And if Quiroga can score, that would end the ball game.
That would, because it's a 10-run rule after 5 innings of play. And that is going to miss outside for ball 1. So, yeah, Lovington would like to just try to get that run in. That's Quiroga out on second base. And if they do, now because this is in the bottom of the 5th inning, it would be game over. That is going to be a long foul ball out of play off to the right for strike 2. So 0-2 against Morales. She reached on a fielder's choice and crossed the plate her last time up. She had a single and got stranded her second plate appearance and popped out to the first baseman her first time up. 1-2 the count. 1 out, 1 runner on. Ooh, there's a nice shot. Is it going to stay fair? It is a fair ball out in right field. The throw comes in. It scores 1, and that should be the ball game. That's it.
Right down the line. Nice shot.
Morales with an RBI single scores the game-winning run. A walk-off shortened inning affair here. So after the bottom of the 5th inning, the game is called 10-0. Lovington beating 5A Roswell here, and a nice victory for Lovington as they've got a couple more games this week, and we will have it for you. But we'll be back in just a few minutes with the wrap on this one. Your Lady Cats victorious 10-0 here. More Lady Wildcats softball coming up on Lovington Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com.
Stone Oilfield Services says many traffic fatalities may be caused by an intoxicated driver. So do yourself and your community a favor and remember the 3 C's of safety: caution, courtesy, and above all, common sense. Safe and sober driving is everyone's responsibility. That message was from Stone Oilfield Services in Lovington, a name you can trust and depend on. For quality and integrity, call 575-396-1840. From the Stone family and staff at Stone Oilfield Services.
Lovington Schools proudly supports their athletic teams and wants to encourage all teachers, students, and staff to keep pressing on. Wildcats, you are winners on and off of the court. Lovington Municipal Schools are proud of holding the utmost and highest standards. Go out there and be proud to be part of the Big Blue. For more information on what is happening now at Lovington Schools, log on to lovingtonschools.net and bet you won't be disappointed. Go Big Blue. 3 claps and a woo!
Attention shoppers. Bob's Thriftway welcomes you to Lovington, New Mexico. This week you'll save big on grocery items throughout their store. Save big on produce, household items, bread products, and meats. Every week, Bob's Thriftway has big savings for their customers. Bob's Thriftway is your local hometown grocery store. So for the freshest produce, the best meats, shop Bob's Thriftway, 906 West Avenue D in Lovington.
Eunice Pump and Supply has been around for over 30 years and is excited to continue their services to the community. They take pride in their employees and their hard work and dedication, and most importantly, take pride in the youth of Lee County. Eunice Pump and Supply is a proud supporter of all Lee County athletics and academics. Eunice Pump and Supply, 1310 Avenue O in Eunice, another proud supporter of Lee County athletics.
And welcome back to your post-game report. The Lovington Lady Cats victorious in this one. Final score 10-0 as they blank Roswell High. And with the wrap-up, here's Dawn Morgan.
Thank you very much. 10-0 your score as Lovington's scored nothing on their first at bat. They scored 3 in the second, and they scored 5 in the third, and then put 2 more on in the bottom of the 5th for 10 runs. Now, for Roswell, they scored no runs on 3 hits. They left 10 on base. They committed 2 errors. Lovington scored the 10 runs on 10 hits. They left 6 on base. They committed 3 errors. Your winning pitcher Daphne Urahara, pitched the entire game for Lovington. She had 6 strikeouts, 5 walks, and there were no double plays turned in the game, and there were no home runs in this game, although several of the Lovington hitters had long balls that hit the fence or at the base of the fence. So some good hitting and some good timely hitting for Lovington, although they only left 6 on base. That's actually improvement over some of their games where they've left far more than that. So looking at this one, it really was Lovington all the way. And Roswell, of course, playing, they only committed a couple of errors, but they just could not get their runners around once they got on base, and that really was the difference. So good pitching for Lovington and good fielding. They did commit the 3 errors, but it didn't hurt them at all, as they didn't allow any runs by Roswell in this game, TJ.
No, they did not. So good tune-up for Hobbs coming into town on Friday night. A lot to take out of this one, and Coach McCraw will be back on Friday from He's having to take a couple of games off, so I know he's chomping at the bit to get back out there and get another crack at the Lady Eagles.
So congratulations, Lady Wildcats, with a 10-0 win, a run rule game. They won it in the bottom of the 5th inning. And safe travels to our visitors, our team, and fans from Roswell during this spring break week. We appreciate all of our sponsors again. On behalf of TJ Miracle, I'm Dawn Morgan, wrapping up this one. Another win for Lovington. And we'll be back with more Lovington Wildcat softball on Friday here from Wildcat Field on Lovington Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com. Good night.